In this video, I will discuss the importance of children's exposure to language in their early years, as well as the benefits of early literacy in your child's life. It is important to first understand that when it comes to language and literacy development, your child's knowledge is a continuous development. Language isn't just something that is taught once and then it's done. Your children will continue to learn and acquire language from the time they're born and throughout the rest of their lives. And reading with your child and exposing them to these books and these words as early as possible is something so simple that you can do to support this language development. So before we get into reading books, I just want to talk about a little bit about some less obvious ways that language and literacy skills can be supported in your home just during daily tasks. There are many easy and fun ways to facilitate language development in the home, and they don't have to be expensive and they don't have to be super complicated either. Simply playing with your child. Every time you play with your child is an opportunity to expose them to language. Repeating words of things that you're touching and playing with on a regular basis, repeating them over and over again so that they're getting that label for the things that they're playing with and the things that they're seeing. Engaging them in your conversations, even if it's not a conversation with them, talking to them while you're doing their daily tasks. They're constantly paying attention to you. So even just talking to them and engaging them and letting them know, these words have meaning, that is so important to their early language development. For example, when you're cooking or getting food out of the fridge, saying, oh, here's the bread, the butter, let's put the butter on the bread. Even if they're not going to remember these words and talk yet, if they're a really little baby, the exposure is everything, and the repeating is everything, because that's how they acquire language and that's how they learn, is repeated exposure and engagement with language. So literacy is not just supported by books, as I talked about, but books are so much fun and they're so important to a child's language development. So having books and lots of them throughout the home and at easy access for your child is so important. Creating that positive atmosphere around books, letting them know that they should be comfortable with them, and having books is fun and reading books is fun and it's a positive experience is so, so important. And there's really no specific books that you must get. You know your child better than anyone, and you know what they will react to and won't react to. So it's really up to your discretion what kinds of books you get. However, there is a difference between baby books and toddler books. So, the babies are going to be more interested in the bigger, bulkier books with the bigger pictures and even less words, because they're going to want to touch things and chew on the sides. And whereas toddlers are going to become more interested in the content as well as learning. So ABCs, shape books, color books, that's exposing them to learning before they're even in school. So now you might be wondering how to effectively share books with your child, because I think that comes as a challenge, is when to share books with your child and how. So first, making an effort to make reading time a part of every single day, whether it be at bedtime, at bath time, at nighttime, whenever, making it a part of every day at the same time is so important. So if you read to them every night before they go to sleep, you read Goodnight Gorilla, they're going to expect reading Goodnight Gorilla if you keep continuously doing it, and they're going to want to, and it's going to become a part of their schedule. You want them to want to read books and to expect to read books. So make it a part of their schedule so it makes that so. Have fun with books. There's a lot of difference between reading something, good night, elephant, good night, lion, good night, hyena, and reading it, good night, lion, say good night to lion, good night, hyena, good night, giraffe, look at the monkey letting out the giraffe. Drawing their attention to these books is so important. Having fun with it. Get up and dance. If it's something about jumping around or dancing, get up and do that with them. Have fun with it. Make them want to read is so important. So talk and sing about the pictures, what I just said. Let the child turn the pages, even if they go from the first page to the last page. It's okay. Let them feel comfortable with reading these books and let them turn the pages, because that's something that a child does first when they're first exposed to books. They're interested in it. They're flipping the pages. They realize there's more than one. They want to flip the pages, so let them. Show them the cover and tell them what the story is about, or ask them what the story is about. If they know this book because you've read it so many times, say that. Oh, what do you think the gorilla is going to do with the key? Oh, is the gorilla going to let all the animals out? Ask them questions about it. What is this book about? Show the children the words. So something like Goodnight Gorilla may not have many words in it, but when they're getting older, and orient them to these words on the pages. Blue horse, what do you see? Make them aware that there are words on this page and not just pictures, and that's where you're getting the story from. Make the story come alive. So this is, again, just having fun with it. You know, blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Give them different voices. They love that. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. Give them different voices. Ask them what a frog does. What does a frog say? Ask them what it does. Engage them. It's all about engaging them. Make it personal. So this can especially be done with holiday books. If you're reading about Christmas time, for example, ask them questions about Santa and about the Christmas tree. Read it by the Christmas tree if you want, or read it by something holiday related, and relate it to that, relate it to their lives. And let the children tell the story if they are comfortable with it and they're able to, and they've been exposed to it before. Let them tell the story. Even if it's not reading the words exactly, it's so important to make sure that your child is paying attention, and letting them tell the story tells you that they have been paying attention, and it hasn't just been you reading to yourself. They are paying attention to this story, and they are gaining something from it. And that joint attention, if your child is playing over here and you're reading here, you might as well be reading to yourself, because they're not paying attention if they're playing over here. And it's so important to be able to know that your child, sit them on your lap and read to them here. Point to the words, point to the pictures, so that you know that they are paying attention to that book, because that is so important for language development and will really help with their literacy skills.